Originally released in 1993 for multiple consoling platforms was Doom. The original story had that in the future a nameless marine known only as the Doomguy is assigned to a solitary location assignment on Mars after assaulting a superior officer. Unknown to him, the Union Aerospace Corporation, which operates radioactive waste facilities there, uses the base as a front to allow the military to conduct secret teleportational-based experiments. One of these experiments goes horribly wrong upon a base situated in Phobos, one of Mars's moons. The other moon, being that of Deimos, disappears entirely, and an emergency assistance request is made from the facility as the nameless marine joins a force to help secure Phobos. Being ordered to wait at the perimeter of the affected area, he later learns that the entire team had been killed. On only basic weapons to defend himself, he has no choice but to fight his way off the moon. Through the course of the game, he forces his way through the complex, now of which has hellish ruins and architecture. Eventually he notices that the moon is floating above hell itself, and ventures to the surface. Further still, he makes it to a portal to Earth which opens and learns that the Earth has been invaded by the forces of hell. Doom 2 continues the story, where upon returning to the Earth, the Doomguy finds regions of the planet had been invaded and conquered by demons, which has resulted in the deaths of billions across the planet. The remaining peoples of Earth have bonded together to build massive spaceships to house survivors, as they've decided to abandon the Earth and find a new home deep in space upon a new planet. Doomguy is told that the only remaining spaceport on the planet has been taken over by the demons, as he then heads there to free it. His efforts mean that the remaining humans are able to flee the planet, as once all the survivors have fled the Earth, Doomguy is the only remaining human being upon the planet. Believing all his sacrifices to be worth it for the survival of the human race, the Marine later receives information from the survivors mentioning to him where exactly the armies of hell are coming from. The coordinates they give to him are actually where he, the Marine, is from himself. As he then fights to where his hometown is, All notices that there's no technical way to close the portal from the Earth side, as he then has no choice but to go through the portal to close it from the hell side. Venturing into hell for the first time, the Marine fights against the hordes of hell, as eventually comes across the main demon of hell, referred to as the Icon of Sin. Killing the demon, the portal to Earth is sealed, and the Marine wonders to himself where all of the evil people upon death will go now that hell has been destroyed. Later reflecting to himself further that rebuilding the Earth and human civilization will give him purpose as he heads back to Earth. Doom and Doom 2 were the original games in plots to feature the nameless Marine in his efforts to fight the armies of hell, and then to save what remains of the Earth. The story was as simple as such: an ordinary man fighting against demons to try and save the planet. Despite the simplicity of the game, it was praised by critics as well as players for the unique aspects of the actual gameplay mechanics, and revolutionary aspects of the details with the game. Other players consider the last true original Doom game to be that of Doom 64, where following the events of Doom and Doom 2, the plot had that the Union Aerospace Corporation was severely restricted in terms of research by what remained of the Earth's governments, being that they were responsible for the demons destroying and killing nearly the entire human civilization in the process. The research stations built by the UAC were thought to be inactive due to their regulations by Earth's governments, but it's discovered that there's an entity within reviving demons. Due to the situation of the Earth being unable to fight back, the Marine is sent in alone. Realizing it was a ploy to bring him back to what remains of hell, he fights and kills all the demons once more. The demons realize that they knew they're unable to defeat the Marine, as it eventually ends with the nameless Marine knowing that he'll never be able to live nor have a normal life due to the constant fighting against the demons and hordes of hell. He decides to remain within hell with the demons for all eternity, to make sure that no demon ever rises again to threat the Earth. The Doom Marine was not technically supposed to be a character at all. The focus from the developers that the Marine was supposed to be a representation of the player themselves depicted within the game. There were literally no details of the Doom Marine, nor even much dialogue, nor expression from him within the games. In the original games, when the pixelated icon of his head, he would only change expressions with low health or even near death. Theorists have discussed that while originally the lack of emotion or background for the Doomslayer was originally to give players impressions of themselves as the Doomguy, in later years the lack of details simply added mystery or appealed to him as someone who didn't need an explanation, or as gamers now view it, there should never be any details known or made public of the Doomslayer. Sometimes a character can be forgotten because they were never meant to be shown, and once the story was completed, they were brought back for new stories but with no details.